A search for common ground in a strained relationship. That is the pledge coming out of a meeting at the White House between U.S. President Barack Obama and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It is the first time the two leaders have met in more than a year. CCTV's Jessica Stone is at the White House. Jessica, any signs of a potential thaw between these two leaders?
Indeed, there was, Mike. In fact, just remember that the last time that Benjamin Netanyahu was in the United States, it was an hour-long rant in front of the U.S. Congress against the Iran nuclear deal. And since that deal has, in fact, been reached and passed by the world powers, the conversation has really changed. And we saw no evidence of that intense disagreement during the Oval Office public remarks earlier today. In fact, now the conversation has moved to strengthening Israel's defense. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrived in Washington as a fresh wave of Middle East violence broke out between Israelis and Palestinians.
There's going to be a lot of work to do.
Inside the White House Monday, discussions with U.S. President Barack Obama went forward on a new 10-year deal for the U.S. to arm Israel. Israel has already ordered 50 American F-35 Joint Strike Fighters, and it's expected to ask Washington to increase its $3 billion in annual aid. Netanyahu hopes to get $50 billion over 10 years, starting in 2017, when the current arrangement of U.S. military assistance expires.
The military assistance that we provide, we consider not only an important part of our obligation to the security of the State of Israel, but also an important part of U.S. security infrastructure in the region.
I don't think that anyone should doubt Israel's determination to defend itself against terror and destruction.
Even as Israel worked to negotiate a new defense agreement in October, its defense minister blamed Iran for this fall's unrest.
In general, I will say that Iran makes non-stop attempts at harming Israel and its citizens.
Netanyahu and Obama have been bitterly divided over the world power's denuclearization agreement with Iran, yet both agree a peace agreement between the Israelis and Palestinians is unlikely during Obama's presidency. Netanyahu says he hasn't given up hope.
I remain committed to a vision of peace, of two states for two peoples, a demilitarized Palestinian state that recognizes the Jewish state.
But many Palestinians say they have given up hope. Netanyahu shows no sign of slowing the West Bank settlements, and a new one was approved today. Mike?
So do we know what Israel is willing to do as a confidence-building gesture of any kind?
Well, the talk that we've heard out of Jerusalem today is simply that they're planning on easing restrictions for the Palestinians in the West Bank and in Israel in the form of water usage and work permits, Mike. Not exactly what the Palestinians have in mind.